Chip Tarkington, and you're watching WBNG TV 42.
Fourth down for the Samford Bulldogs. Tim Hamrick from Hueytown back to punt. The ball on the 29. Tim standing at his own 20, boots the ball, and a spiral end-over-end kick down to the 10-yard line, rolls in the end zone, 71 yards.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's program comes from Anderson, Indiana, as the Bulldogs had a victory yesterday afternoon by a score of 60-16. Seems like it's becoming old news with the Bulldogs running up big scores, and now are 4-0 as they return home next week to play a home game against Georgia Southwestern. We're with Coach Terry Bowden on the Samford Football Review, and it's happy times again for the Bulldogs, Coach, and I guess you never get tired about talking about victories, and really never get tired about talking about big victories as it was again yesterday.
Well, I'll tell you, this was a special win for us because we had set our goal to win more games than last year. That was our first goal, and this is win number 4. That's one more than they had last year. It's the most they've had since they started football back, so we're excited about it. We love the score and the stats and the big record, but the 4-0 means very much to us, and it was a win we felt like we had to have because we're going to come home to some big ones.
Another good offensive day for the Bulldogs as they had outstanding performances, namely out of Jimbo Fisher, who really only played half a ball game.
Yeah, Jimbo probably had his best game that I've seen with him in a long time. He threw 4 touchdown passes in the first half, did not play one snap the second half. I have not seen him on as much as he was today. He threw the ball well. He didn't miss, really. We had a few drops. He was not off on any passes, and it was just a super day for him as he threw for about 220 yards and 4 touchdown passes, with Tim Richardson doing a good job catching the ball for him.
We're going to be coming back in a few moments, and Terry will be narrating some of the highlights from yesterday's ball game, and we hope you'll stay around. It's going to be fun. 60 points up on the board, so there'll be a lot of Samford highlights. We'll have that coming up in a few moments, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with yesterday's highlights on the Samford Football Review.
Weekends, days off, don't want to work no more. Gonna take my time now that it's mine, and I don't want to be where there's no Coca-Cola. This is the life, these are the real things. You're the heart of it, every day, every way. Coca-Cola's a part of your life. Oh, when Coca-Cola's a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling.
People, experience, technology, the winning combination that's made McGriff, Siebels & Williams the largest independently owned insurance broker in the Southeast. People who share a commitment to fulfill your specific needs. 100 years of continuous experience with all types of clients and coverage. Technology that enables us to provide you the fastest, most accurate, and efficient service. McGriff, Siebels & Williams Insurance. We're big enough for all your needs, but not too big to care.
This isn't a commercial for a fishing boat, or a rod and reel, or an airline that can take you here. It's a commercial for a bank that can get you here.
All right, we're at the opening kickoff right now. We'll receive the opening kickoff. The rain was coming down here. We were a little bit concerned with the weather, but we took the opening kickoff in hopes that we could get our offense on the field. Our offense has been doing a pretty good last couple of games, and we wanted to get them on the field. They kick off. It wasn't too deep. We've had Shorty Smith back there. They didn't kick to him, and they wouldn't kick. We get the ball to him, and Shorty does what he's been doing well, finds the hole up the middle, and you see him break almost for a score. The last man gets him down. Shorty Smith is about 10th of the nation in kickoff returns and doing a real good job, but it puts us in good field position. The rain was coming down here. We thought we'd open up with a pass, figuring they would think we were going to run. And so let's say, well, let's open up with a pass. And so we set up, and we're going to full sprint out to the left here. Jimbo Fisher on the run-pass option gets out wide, breaks contained there, and you'll see he finds Tim Richardson down around the 10-yard line. Breaks a tackle or two, and there's a good block there by Jeff Walters and Gerald Neves, the other receivers, and puts us on the 7. And now we're down where we really got them in a bind. And so we're getting our 2 tight ends in, getting our I formation. We want to see if we can run it in. We put our man in motion, and this always, of course, causes the defense to have to adjust. And there's the quick pitch back to John Harper. He breaks in, gets a good block from Shorty, and takes it in untouched into the goal line. A quick 6-0 lead, right, with 2 plays. You know, we scored with in 3 plays last week to get ahead, and this week we scored in 2 plays. It was great. We really like to set the tempo. Here we've got Mike Bofamy in to kick. He set the school record the last 2 weeks in the number of extra points, and he kicks the first one through right there, and we get a lead, I think, before half the crowd even gets in their seat. Anderson came right back, got on down in our territory. We started to move the ball real well. You'll see this so much in ball games where a team starts to move on you before you can adjust to them. And they're starting to move well, and our defense has to get after him. But there's a little overthrow right there, and there's a Billy Robinson, our free safety, breaking on the football. And they're down to about our 26-yard line here and have been moving well. We need to have a big play, or somebody's got to step up and shut this drive down in order to keep them from catching up with us. And there's the run up the middle, and there comes Joe Minatella, freshman defensive tackle. Made the tackle there, and he's doing a great job. We're starting 9 returners from last year on defense, along with 2 freshmen, true freshmen, on the defensive line. Here they are, their quarterback hands off this draw. It was one of their better plays. And there's, looks like John Brown comes in. No, that's Brian Westbrook, our outside linebacker, came in to shut him down there, and they're going to try a field goal here to try to cut it down to 7-3. It's like about a 28-yard or 38-yard field goal attempt. As you can see here, Donnie Rory puts good pressure, and he's off to the right and misses the field goal. So we hang on 7-0. Come back, and here's Johnny Harper running a little draw. Gets a little yardage right there. Scott Fountain providing good blocking for him on that play. Come back and get into a pro-I formation, and one that we like to use. It allows us to attack the entire field in order to work. And there's a little trap up the middle. Shorty Smith hitting that trap. You know, sometimes when your offense is real good, you make 4 or 5 yards up the middle, and they don't think it's a good play, but that's a very positive play. Forces them to take the middle, and here goes John Harper again on the sweep. He sticks it in, bounces outside, does a good job getting about 4 or 5 yards. Gary Matthews there from Carver High School here in town at wide receiver. They had a player shaken up there. We really got after him Saturday real well. We like our offensive linemen and defensive linemen to get after them, to get nasty, and try to do a little intimidating early and let them know they're going to be in for a battle for 60 minutes. Unfortunately, last couple of weeks, we haven't had to fight for 60 minutes. We got ahead pretty good and been able to play everyone. But here we are again. There's the sprint draw, we call it. They ended John. There's John Harper again on the sprint draw. The quarterback opens to the left, and we kind of start the play to the left to get the defense to flow, and you notice how he cuts back across the grain. You'll see that formation, that running play there. That's the running play we fake when we pass, and we try to make our running play and passing look just alike so they don't know whether we're going to pass or going to run. It's very effective if you can make them look exactly alike. There you see that official trying to change the ball. The weather was so bad, we told our center, Leland Allen, not to snap a football if it was wet or muddy, and was unable for the quarterback to snap. The problem is you figure it's probably going to be a pass if he's going to get a new ball. Let's see if he does decide to pass. Yes, and there's the pass. You can tell the center was smart. Jimbo throws an out right there. Hits Steve Miles there from Birmingham for another good completion to the outside. Jimbo had just a super day. The best I've seen, having been around him for 3 years, had a super day in the rain. And there's the short one up to Shorty Smith. Picks up a little bit of yardage, and there's that old flag. We have been, boy, hampered with the penalties. We had about 100 yards in penalties Saturday, and it seems like every time we have an away game, we get over 100 yards of penalties, and it's been tough on us, but we feel like if we'll just go out and do the best we can and play as hard as we can, it'll take care of itself. But we're down around their territory again, and there Jimbo is setting the line of scrimmage. Come back, and there's the fake now. He comes back and makes his throw, and there he is throwing again. Makes a good throw to, I believe, to Tim Richardson, and I don't want to say this, but you guessed it. Another penalty on us. We have really got to work on that. We didn't have the holding penalties this week. Last week we had a ton of holding penalties, and this week they were calling us for all kinds of motion and legal procedure, things that we all of a sudden we started doing wrong or incorrect, and I'm not so sure we coached it or did it any different. We had a few officials that were calling things just a little bit different, but we got ourselves in a bind right here, and we've got to try to make something happen. But there's Jimbo again. There's Shorty on the draw that they ran. We came back and ran it. And there's Shorty making another good run with a good block there by Steve Miles and another block. We had a good return or run down to their inside their 20, and they called us for holding. We had 3 state penalties there. We gained 5 yards. They called us for holding. We gained 15 yards. They called us for offsides. We gained 20 yards. They called us for clipping. We couldn't get anything going. And we really needed the scores. We're only up by 7 points here. So I got in here and I said, well, let's hit the bomb over the top, see if we can get a quick one on them. So I got into an over formation and see if we could go over top. We're going to try to fake the run to see if we can get them to come up on the run and then we're going to try to pass the football. You'll see the run fake. Quarterback Jimbo Fisher sets back. Boy, lost a beautiful pass about 45 yards to Tim Richardson in the back of the end zone. Just a super job. Jimbo throws his second touchdown pass, or his first touchdown pass of the day. And here's Michael Bofamy. Got some pressure and missed his first extra point. Very disappointing. He's been like 20 straight this year and has set some records, but there he missed his first one. Puts our defense back on the ball as we get up now 13-0. There's their quarterback really getting pressure. I tell you, the defensive front, Colin Hutto, Dwayne Cheeves, Bobby Locklear, and Joe Militello, along with Chris Betts, the defensive end, up putting great pressure on quarterbacks this year. And there's a fumble. Their lineman tries to pick up. You see, that's one thing. Boy, I tell you, I bet their coach is furious. You never try to pick up a ball and run with it. You can't run with it. You just jump on the ball. He tried to pick it up. A lineman did. We hit him. And looked like John Brown recovered the football. Put us in good field territory again, and when we have a turnover like that, I like to go for blood. As soon as we get a turnover, I like to go over top quickly. And there you see him throwing to Tim Richardson again. Quick touchdown, and boy, that really shook him right there. Anytime you get a quick turnover, you want to try to go over top and catch them while they're off balance and they're not prepared, and see if you can get a quick score. And we're back down. Going to try to go for 2 here. Run the sweep. We had a little breakdown. They defensed it well and shut down the 2-point play and kept us from going back up, and left it 19-0 at that time. Now you'll see our defense playing here. We had super day out of Brian Westbrook. You see him right there at the end position, number 48. They go in motion, try to get adjustment, but we stay in our same formation. And there's the dive. You see it going there. Great effort to pitch. Good hit on the outside. There was an excellent hit there by number 24, Jerome Beeman. Knocked the tailback out of bounds. Jerome had another good day. I think Josh Melnick, number 41, our strong safety there, a freshman, a true freshman, had 2 interceptions and a super day in the secondary. And here they are trying to catch up in the game. There's Brian Westbrook putting the pressure on, and there is Josh Melnick making a super interception there. But so they scored. We scored right after that interception, so we put their offense back on the field now a little bit later, and we'll see right again. There's Josh Melnick making the play, and he gets another interception and brings it down into their territory. There's a good block there by Jerome Beeman. Pat Edens coming up, everybody getting in front of him, and puts us in good field position now to see if we can get another score here before the halftime comes. We're out here about on the 10-yard line or 11-yard line. There's the throw to Steve Miles, and the defender hit him a little bit and threw him off balance, and we couldn't get the ball in. We're sitting now on the 10-yard line trying to get another touchdown before the halftime ends. And here we are now. Jimbo hands off. There's the draw to Shorty. Shorty almost falls down, gets up, makes a good play down to the 6-yard line. Sitting on the 6 here, looking to get in now into our too tight formation. There's the sweep and the pitch, and there's John Harper. Works around the outside, sticks it in for another touchdown. Does a super job again of making them miss. People should have had the tackle. Puts our defense right back again, going for them. There's a good run for them. Number 32, I don't remember his name, but he had a real good day for them and was probably their best rusher for the day. But the defense is, I think we need some improvement on the rushing offense, but they're doing a great job here. Put some pressure on. There's that hit up the middle. And here's the play that killed them. A rush right up the middle. Went about 50 yards for their only first half score to give them 6 points. They come back here to try a 2-point attempt to get a little bit closer before the halftime ends. You'll see them get into their double wide receiver position over here, a single offense, and here the quarterback rolls around. They do a great job of rolling and throwing the back who floods into the flat for the 2-point conversion. Gave them 8 points. We get the ball right back down in their territory and try to get down and get some more points. And there's that draw again. There's Shorty, goes down to the ground, makes a great move. Had a good block there. I believe we get a penalty here. No, we don't get a penalty on that play. Gets us down to the 10-yard line, ready to threaten again. Getting to that I formation that we like to get into. Here's Jimbo making a quick throw, trying to throw to Jeff Walters, make a super catch there on about the 6-yard line. Jimbo led him a little bit, and he couldn't stay up, but he was making a diving catch, and it gave us the ball on about the 6-yard line. Here, that gives us a chance to have one more passing play, and here's Jimbo Fisher making the touchdown pass to Gerald Neves to go up 40-8 at the half, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
Boy, Vern, all this fencing practice to become a numero uno swashbuckler really works up a big thirst for some of that great tasting mellow yellow, know what I mean? Smooth. Yep, Vern, mellow yellow tastes better than Mountain Dew. Even has that little splash of juice, know what I mean? Check out this technique, Vern. In guard. Thrust, ferry, thrust. Thrust, ferry, ferry, ferry.
Buying tires has just taken a turn for the better at National Tire Wholesale, where you can choose from 18 national tire brands at wholesale prices with fast mounting, precision balancing, complete drum and disc brake service, Monroe and Coney shocks, and computerized four-wheel alignment. In TW, where tires and service take a turn for the better.
Nice blind, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I have made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me. Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it.
We open up in the second half here. You'll see they had their ball on our 15-yard line. There's a little give. The quarterback makes a little dive there and is really working our defense. But he got banged up. The quarterback got a little bit banged up. Our defense got after him very well. The boy did a super job, had a real good day, and he comes back and has a good day running and throwing against us under the circumstances in which our defense was in control. But he'll try to get him back. And we have already pretty much substituted now. We did not play any of our first teamers in the second half on offense. Jimbo Fisher threw 4 touchdown passes all in the first half. That was 13 for 20 and had 4 drops, 3 touchdown passes in the end zone dropped. And so he had really his best day. But here we are with our defense. We're substituting freely now, trying to get everyone experience and playing time while at the same time keeping the continuity together. And there comes a good rush and an excellent pass. Breaking on it there is Scotty King breaking on the ball there. And here's a 4th and 4 here. We have to stop because we don't want them to get in the end zone here and get the game close. And it's important that our defense, even though we're winning the football game by a large margin, play tough football, don't lose your intensity, break on the ball, and there he is throwing the incomplete, and our offense take over. Of course, later on, we've got them with the ball again at a later time, and here they are sprinting for the dadgum attempt, and it's incomplete there in the end zone. We had hoped to hold them out and not let them score. The defense always wants to keep the score down. It makes their statistics look good to keep the defense against the score high in the nation. They've done very well, but the team moved out well here, had some people running, and here the quarterback had a little too much time, and were able to work the guy back across the defense. And it's always tough when the quarterback rolls one way and the receiver cuts back all the way across the grain and catches the ball in the other end zone. You'll see now they go for a 2-point conversion. Quarterback rolls out again, and notice what he does. Rolls to one side, throws it back across the grain to the other. We've got some substitutions in. There's Capri Williams, a freshman out of Pensacola, Florida, who got beat. This made it 40-16. They're running again now, and it's beginning to concern me. There's the quarterback making a good scramble. We get a little face mask on him there. Very unfortunate. Didn't mean to, of course, but that's going to give him a first down, I believe, on the play. It was 4th down at that time, and I think they called a penalty. No, the penalty was on them. It was a clip on them, a crucial 4th down play again right there, and it gets the ball back to us. And with a 40-16 score, I was getting ready to put our first team back in. If they would have scored on that drive, I would have said, hey, it's 14-24, 40-24, let's get our first team back in. But we kept our other team back in. There's Emil Gammon making a good run, and there's Duke Harrison, our second team tight end, making a very heads-up and alert play, getting on that fumble. Emil Gammon had a very good day running, one of our backup fullbacks out of Tallahassee, Florida. Emil's only about 5'6", 185 pounds, but he benches over 400 pounds and is doing real well. And there's Tommy Ruiz, probably the outstanding runner of the day, doing another good job on the sweep. Tommy had 11 carries for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns, and I guarantee you're going to see Tommy Ruiz in the future. He's really earned the opportunity to share a lot of that time with John Harper at tailback. John Harper had 2 touchdowns himself and ran well, but I think most would have to say Tommy Ruiz had the outstanding day rushing the football on Saturday. Here's Ted Darby, our backup quarterback, pitching again to Tommy Ruiz. He fakes inside, dips out. There he is around the outside. A good block by Tim Richardson, and he runs into the end zone for a touchdown. Really got us going again. As they had the momentum going, he got us back. And here's Ted Darby here, fakes the sprint draw. Here it is coming, rolling out, trying to get the first down. It was a crucial 3rd down play. They covered it well, and Ted, not wanting to throw the interception, scrambles for what yardage he could get and had to run out of bounds at that point. But this puts our punt team on the field now, and Tim Hamrick, who's done a great job punting for us. You're going to see right here. He had a shank to punt the last time, and we really want a good punt at him this time. And here he is on his own 28-yard line, and take a look at this. This ball traveled 71 yards, only 2 yards short of a Samford record. And that thing was all in the air, too. It was a great punt by Tim Richardson. Puts them back down their territory, and here's what they have to do. They have to punt also. And here's Wayne Williams coming off the outside, and watch that. He didn't rough the kicker because he blocked the punt. We really pride ourselves in blocking punts, and there's Wayne Williams, who has so much heart and desire and did a great job there and was able to block the punt and put our offense down again. And here's our offense getting ready to try to put the ball in the end zone again. There's Ted Darby looking one way, throwing the great out pass to the other side. Steve Miles, very elusive, hard to tackle. I tell you, very few quarterbacks can throw that out pattern to the wide side of the field. You saw Ted Darby look to the short side. It was covered, turn and throw the ball all the way across to the other side. And when you can do that, that means you have a strong arm. Here's our two tight formation. Tommy Ruiz cuts it up the middle, rams it in running over one football player and gets his second touchdown of the day. And now we're starting to add the points on. We're not really trying to run the score up here, but I'm not going to sit on the ball. Our second and third team people, they practice hard all week, and they want to have a chance to score the football. So we're going to run our basic offense and see how many points they can put up on the board. You know, I get kind of irritated at times when people say you're running up the score, but, you know, if Oklahoma's winning 6-0, they don't stop running the wishbone. And when we're winning by 30 or 40 or 50 points, we don't stop running our offense. And here's Michael Vest out of midfield. Setting back, and there he is throwing across the middle to Steve Miles again. Steve Miles avoids one tackler, avoids two tackler, gets upfield and is ridden out of bounds, and it looks like Mike Vest has got the offense going again. I tell you, Michael Vest has done a good job, probably one of the most confident players we have on our team. Michael is playing in a position right now where we have an extreme amount of talent, probably our most talented position to have three deep that can really play, but Mike comes in and he plays like a veteran to be a transfer freshman out of Livingston University, where he went as a freshman and came back here. But it puts the ball on about the 21-yard line, I believe, and gets us into scoring opportunity again. And these twos like to score. They want to be number one, and they know if they can go out there and look good, they've got a chance to be number one. There's Tommy Ruiz again, ramming that ball at the middle there, getting a good block by Bill Cummings out of Vestavia High School. Bill playing tight end. This is his first time traveling, and he's worked real hard coming off a separated shoulder, and he's working real hard with Alan Wright at tight tackle and Jeff Bishop there from Oneonta and Loose Samples there at center. Chris Corder at fullback. There's Mike Vest faking the handoff and running the naked up the middle, and there he is on the 1-yard line. Scored right there. I think that the officials were trying to be a little generous there as the score kind of got out of hand. But we come back, and we're going to try to run it up the middle there, see if we can knock people off the ball and how the second team can execute. And you'll see we give it to Chris Corder here up the middle to the right. Linebacker comes right through there and stops him short. We'll come back to the left now and try to run that quick dive with Chris up the middle, one of our strongest running backs, and try to run him up the middle. And you'll see right here, he goes over for the score, and there it is, and that's going to be the final score of the day to make it 60-16 to end the day for Samford. A good day for the Samford Bulldogs. We'll be right back to wrap it up right after this.
Swifty Pizza, where delivery is king. Certified instructors put our employees through a grueling pizza delivery course. Now that's driving.
While some pizza places put all their effort into delivery, at Little Caesars, we concentrate on something else, the pizza.
You want to make sure the crust is golden brown on the top and on
At Little Caesars, it's the pizza that counts. So while they're perfecting this, we've perfected this. Little Caesars.
Hey, Vern, looks like you're turning into quite the little shopper. Well, at last you got your soft drink right. Mellow Yellow. I guess you heard that Mellow Yellow tastes better than Mountain Dew. See them boys down at Mellow Yellow put in an extra little splash of juice, and it's better than ever. Ooh. So remember, Vern, squeeze your tomatoes, get plenty of Mellow Yellow, and Vern, don't forget to thump your melon. Know what I mean?
People, experience, technology. The winning combination that's made McGriff, Siebels, and Williams the largest independently owned insurance broker in the Southeast. People who share a commitment to fulfill your specific needs. 100 years of continuous experience with all types of clients and coverage. Technology that enables us to provide you the fastest, most accurate, and efficient service. McGriff, Siebels, and Williams Insurance. We're big enough for all your needs, but not too big to care.
Go.
Well, those were yesterday's highlights. We hope you enjoyed watching them. Terry, we have some time here at the end of the program. We want to visit a little bit about where Samford is right now. Obviously, 4-0, the most wins since the football program has returned. And people might be a little skeptic about the ball club, saying, well, they're not playing as tough a competition. And I asked you yesterday on the radio, how good is this ball club that the Samford Bulldogs have?
Well, I'll tell you, we're as good as we can be right now. I looked at the beginning of the season. I'd hope we win all of our games, and I want to win all of them. But looking at our season, I said, hey, look at the first 4 games. If we can be 3-1 after those 4, we'll have a chance to have an outstanding season. And right now we're 4-0. The problem is you play 2 teams like we have these past 2 weeks, teams that you're better than, and you just want to go in there and get a win. Well, we've come and won convincingly with big scores, and I'm not sure that's an indication of how good we are, but it is an indication that we've done as well as we can, and we can't be any better. We are 4-0. How good are we going to be? I don't know. We play 3 teams in the next 3 weeks that are going to determine what kind of football team we have this year. We've got Georgia Southwestern coming up this Saturday, an outstanding team that's one of the top 10 Division III teams in the nation, I believe. And then Emory and Henry, and then also after that we play Ferrum College, which is rated in the top 10 also. That's going to be a big indication of what kind of team we are. I will say this, we have made great improvement. We may not win all of our games, but I think our fellows sits right now that if they work very hard and continue to improve, they're going to have a chance to win each and every ball game they are in. But there has been improvement, and I'm proud of our football team right now.
And the big key in the last couple of ball games, in fact, all 4 of the ball games, has been the fact that the Bulldogs have executed, and it really doesn't matter who you play as long as you execute and do the things you're supposed to do.
That's right. I'm looking for execution and improvement. Each week we must improve. Our defense has come so far. It's unbelievable how much our defense has improved. It's very hard when you get 6, 7, or 8 touchdowns ahead to keep that intensity level there that's so important with the defense. But they continue to play very well and improve. And when they play good football, we're a good football team. Offensively, we've got some good people on offense that can score with a football. Defensively has been the key. Excuse me.
We're going to be able to tell a little bit more about what type of football team Samford has when they come home next Saturday, as the Bulldogs will be hosting Georgia Southwestern. Again, kickoff is scheduled for 1:30 out at Samford Stadium. We very much urge you to come on out and watch the Bulldogs. I'm pretty sure you'll be excited about the type of offense that Terry Bowden and his staff has put into place. So it's really going to be an interesting weekend, and we hope you'll come on out. And Terry, I know that it should be a good ball game because it really is going to be top-notch competition.
Well, we're excited about it. We're going to put the nation's #1 scoring and total offensive football team on the field against Georgia Southwestern, who is an outstanding team in its own self, coached by Jimmy Hightower, a former Samford graduate, and he's a good friend of our family. And it's going to be a great football game, which we want all of our Birmingham fans to come out and watch.
You won't want to miss it. You want to come out there at 1:30 next Saturday, and then also tune in for the Samford Football Review next Sunday evening. We hope you'll tune in then. For Coach Terry Bowden, I'm Jeff Lloyd. We thank you for tuning in, and thanks for watching.
Everyone.
Sunday on WBMG.
I'm Paul Osmond. You're watching WBMG TV 42.
Good evening once again, everyone, and welcome to the Samford Football Review. I'm Jeff Lloyd, along with head football coach Terry Bowden, and Samford Bulldogs are now 5-0 with a victory yesterday afternoon over Georgia Southwestern. The final score was 33-14. Coach, we were talking yesterday about the fact that it really was probably the most enjoyable victory since you have been here, because it was against an opponent that you really had to prepare for and take seriously, because you really had outmatched the opponents the last couple of weeks.
That's right. We knew coming in Georgia Southwestern would be the best athletes, the best coached, the best team speed of any team that we played, and we would have to play our very best game to win the football game. And we had our boys so keyed up this week to play and so pumped up. The practices were exciting. I was edgy all week, getting on them all week. They were tired of me yelling at them, and they came and played probably as rough a football game as they played in the 3 years they've been here. And I tell you, it's just a game like that I'm excited about being in.
As far as the offense yesterday, was pretty much contained to Jimbo Fisher running the ball, and he had 3 touchdowns yesterday afternoon.
Well, I tell you, Jimbo did a good job of taking what they gave us. They took away the pass there after the first couple of drives, and he was able to find room scrambling, and he took the ball in the end zone and found openings. And I'll tell you, he had a really good day moving the football that way. But I think it was a day of our defense that really shone on Saturday.
We're going to see some of those defensive plays and also the scoring drives on our highlight program coming up in a few moments. We invite you to stay tuned for that. Again, it was a 33-14 victory. The Bulldogs victorious. They're now 5-0, and Coach, that puts them at the halfway point of the season with 5 victories, and because of that, a non-losing season guaranteed.
I tell you, that's what made this a crucial game for us. So much in the past, we've been considered a losing football program. For the 3 years, we win 1 game and 2 games, then 3 games. And we felt like if we could win this game, we would no longer be a losing football program. And from this point on, for the rest of this season, and I hope forever, Samford will no longer be a losing football program.
We'll see how number 5 came about when we return after we take a few messages. We invite you to stay tuned as Terry and I will return on the Samford Football Review.
Weekend, days off, don't wanna work no more. Gonna take my time now that it's mine, and I don't wanna be where there's no Coca-Cola. This is the life, these are the real things. You're the heart of it, every day, every way. Coca-Cola's a part of your life. Oh, when Coca-Cola's a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling.
People, experience, technology, the winning combination that's made McGriff, Siebels, and Williams the largest independently owned insurance broker in the Southeast. People who share a commitment to fulfill your specific needs. 100 years of continuous experience with all types of clients and coverage. Technology that enables us to provide you the fastest, most accurate, and efficient service. McGriff, Siebels, and Williams Insurance. We're big enough for all your needs, but not too big to care.
This isn't a commercial for a fishing boat, or rod and reel, or an airline that can take you here. It's a commercial for a bank that can get you here.
It was a beautiful afternoon yesterday, Coach, as Samford returned home to play at Cypress Stadium. First time they've been home in about 3 weeks, so it was nice to have the nice weather and a nice crowd, and the ball club was all pumped up, ready to go.
Yes, we were able to dress a lot of people. Our second home game, and we've got over 100 on the sideline now. So excited because they get to play for their parents and their local friends and things.
Samford's going to kick off here, and then we're going to see the kickoff, and then Samford's going to get it right back after each team trade possessions here in a moment. You see the slipping, and now after they run a couple of tries at a first down, they will have to punt, and Samford's going to take over the football.
We were able to stop them. They had a couple of first downs there. We were able to stop them. They get the punt off. This will be our second offensive series. We had tried to open up with the pass and weren't successful, so we said, come back, let's try our run, see if we can establish the running game. And you're going to see it became very effective early. Shorty Smith really running up the middle, and some of our cutback plays up the middle, as you'll see this first play here.
This is with 7.5 remaining in the first quarter. Shorty Smith
does a good job. He's such quick feet. He's not a very fast running back. He's just exceptionally quick, and at 5'6", 195 pounds, you'll see he's hard to bring down. And there's Johnny Harper breaking to the outside. One man catches him, and he may have been all the way right there. We've really got it clicking. We've got a good scheme now. I was able to see what they were going to do with their defense the first series that we didn't get any first downs, and now we've got kind of what they've got a game plan for us. We understand it. We start hitting the cutback on them, and there's Shorty again on the exact same play you saw to open up with, and we're into their territory almost. along with a personal foul. And this was beginning the problem. I think we had some personal fouls here early that you'll see number 15 there with his personal foul. He was their captain, and he, in fact, was thrown out of the game probably the next series of plays with his second personal foul. And I think you can see that Georgia Southwestern can't play football.
Just going to put the ball up to the 47-yard line, and Samford has a 1st and 10.
We're not going to throw this series. We want to come out and after not getting anything established through the air the first series, we were going to go out and just run the ball. And here we go with that sweep again. Jarlin Harper gets to the outside, and you're going to see a great head-to-head hit here. Number 28, their free safety, really hit him hard out of bounds, and Johnny came back strong.
It's nice to pick up those first downs on the first running play, isn't it?
That's right. When you find out you can run like that, you don't have to guess through all those passes that you've prepared. You know if you can run that football, you can pretty much call it that much problem. There's a trap popping up the middle, and Shorty Smith again getting good yardage almost to the 20-yard line. That on top of there's the personal foul, and they throw number 15 out. And that's kind of the way it was, a very intense, emotional ball game with a lot of heated altercation.
Yeah, that was David Bird. He was one of their captains, as a matter of fact, and you expect a cooler head out of a captain, I guess.
Well, again, I think the game plan here, and as the game plan with so many teams that play Samford. Hey, Samford is a team that's lost a lot. Let's go out there. It's a preppy school. These boys aren't tough guys. Let's go out and intimidate them and get them out of the game early, and that's been the game plan of so many teams we played. And apparently, when you've got a captain doing that quite often is the case. If he's doing it, it's probably something that is part of a game plan.
He's going to put the ball down to their 11, and this is the scoring play.
There's Shorty on the cutback. He really got in, but there it is. Takes it right back on that cutback. Takes it in there, lays it down. He's excited. Got that score quickly for us.
And that made it 6-0, of course, and the extra point will make it 7-0. And Samford was off and running. And did you expect to get out in front as early against this ball club as you had the last few weeks against the other competition?
No, we didn't. We didn't expect to get ahead of them like we did. However, we did expect the game to be as close as it was. We didn't expect to get ahead and have them come back. But we jumped on them with some of our stuff. They adjusted and made a good comeback. And here their offense is going. This quarterback was a big, strong quarterback. Had a good arm. You'll see him completing the ball there, and they're down to our 25-yard line. Down there ready for a score, and really we're clicking. I don't know if it's going to show here, but they score and they have a penalty, bring their score back, and our defense gets strong and holds them at the end here. This Slappy was an outstanding tailback for them. He was their all-time leading rusher at Georgia Southwestern, and we were very concerned with him, and he proved to be just as dangerous as we thought as he gained 164 yards on 20 carries.
They run primarily out of the I formation.
Little option here, and the quarterback with a big strong, but our defense gets to him. There's Pat Edens, who had an outstanding game, along with Chris Betts making the tackle there. We had some very good individuals on defense. Dwayne Cheeves, our nose guard, had a super day. Really got into their backfield throughout much of the day, along with Jerome Beeman, as you'll see later on, had just a super ball game for us.
Short drop, and ball was tipped and intercepted there by Scotty King, his first of 2 of the day.
Scotty had a great day, too. He is always around the football. He's such a good athlete. Goes from quarterback to defensive back, and again gets 2 big interceptions for us. It puts our offense back on the ball. And here's Jimbo just making a great play. All kinds of pressure with his wrist. Throws that ball about 25 yards down to Gary Matthews. Jimbo had a good day throwing, but he hurt him with the running yesterday, probably as much as anything. His scrambling ability and rollouts, a good catch by Gary Matthews there. And we've got an offense moving again.
That was a pickup of 17 yards, so another first down for the Bulldogs. And there's Smith.
There's that tough inside play that ran so well. We started Monty Montgomery there at tackle. The first game that he started, had a real good game for us there beside Luke Kadamoff and Leland Allen there, and Scotty Fountain and Dink Wall and Jeff Walters, our front line, who blocked for about 300 yards of rushing. There's the blitz, and there's the Johnny Harper will catch a pass there. They blitzed Jimbo. He stepped to the side coolly and found John Harper there on the sideline for a completion and getting us down to their territory again, down on the 21-yard line.
A lot of times, Coach, when teams get inside the 20 or the 25, they find it difficult to score, but Samford's had a very good success rate.
We've got some fellas that can really smell the goal line. Shorty Smith there getting down to the 10-yard line with a good draw play. But we've been very good. We've got some backs, like I said, and a quarterback, I feel, that can smell that goal line and instinctively get a little bit tougher when they get close to that goal line.
Well, we're going to see that quarterback smell the goal line on this play, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, there's the bootleg. They had no one in the flat. They played the goal line defense. They jammed everybody inside, thinking we would go inside, and Jimbo really had a pass option on there, but he was so open, he just ran it in. And here's our kickoff down to their 1 as they run a reverse and get a good return.
So the score 14-0 here, and as you say, they do get a good return here. This is a fellow by the name of Knight, and
well,
so
they ran that reverse. They had a week off, the extra to prepare for us, and you could see they had reverses in. They had special blitzes in that gave us some problems, and that happens usually when you have a week off. But the kickoff returns, again, something we need to work on. There's their option there. We come up making a big hit on the play. Oh, Dwayne Chief should have had that ball. We lose it. Had it in the air. They recover it, but it was a great hit on that quarterback right there by Pat Eddins.
So the defense was a factor throughout the ball game, and again, it plants something in the other team's mind when you make plays like that.
That's right. Our offense came on like blockbusters at first. We got ahead and we're really cranked up, but when we slowed down, it was the defense that came on and really kept us in the ball game and kept us ahead. Here you'll see a great play. Billy Robinson having almost an interception there. We have not been beat deep on the pass this year, and I think that's been crucial. We've had some long runs on us, but we've been able to stop the deep pass, and I think if you don't give up the big play on defense, you're always going to have a good chance to win a ball game.
Ball from the 38 here, and Anthony Jenkins is their quarterback, and he seemed to get better and calmer as the game went on.
He was a pretty good quarterback, and there's Brian Westbrook, who had a super day getting, I think, one of his 3 sacks. Brian had a good day. He alternates there with Chris Betts at the end position, and we put him in as kind of a designated pass rusher on 3rd down. Chris Betts being a little bigger on runs, and was able to shut him down there and get our offense the ball again. And we already have a 14-point lead.
And Billy Robinson takes the punt. He's a tough kid. He didn't want to call for that fair catch, did he?
Billy is very tough, a very hard-nosed football player. He makes a lot of big hits at free safety and is not afraid to get that return from the punt return position. We like to use Gerald Nees back there because of his sure hands, but Billy Robinson has a little bit better running ability.
Come out throwing right away on the first play.
We go over top to, we saw they were playing tight. We go over top, a beautiful pass to Tim Richardson down about the 10-yard line, and they were called with pass interference as the fellow was beaten and had to make a good play to stop the play, and it gave us a 1st down in their territory now with a 14-point lead. It gives us a chance possibly to go up to a 21-point lead.
And again, you're going to throw on 1st down, and the intended receiver is going to be Gary Matthews here.
Yes, we want to throw on 1st down because, again, when you want to keep people off balance, you throw on 1st, run on 2nd, decide on 3rd, or maybe you run on 1st and throw on 2nd, and that's the only way you can have an exciting and a high-producing offense, and that's what we were trying to do there, and that's why we were moving the ball so well. Later in the second half, I got kind of nervous. We were winning, but they were really picking up. I really got overly conservative and was running too much on 1st and 2nd, and in that type of offense, we weren't producing much.
Well, over 3 minutes to play here in the half, and here's Smith again with the delay.
Runs that trap up there, and we got him. What we have to do is sitting back for the pass now. When they do that, when the linemen rush and the linebackers back up, you can trap and draw very easily.
Some things work, and then here's another one up the middle, and we're going to see a reverse coming up here in a moment that they've had plenty of time to work on.
Well, we missed a block. I'll tell you, after studying the film, we saw they pursued the ball very well. That's why the cut back up the middle was working. So we thought we'd run the reverse and get the same type of effect, but we missed number 99, one of the linemen. It wasn't a play that they had the reverse covered. We never made the block on the line of scrimmage, and he was in the backfield because of a missed assignment, and that's what hurt the reverse, because I think the reverse, looking at the film, would have scored if it had gotten past the nose guard.
So it's 2nd down and 15 from the 20-yard line, and Jimbo Fisher's about to go to work again.
Well, we had called a flag route or an out pass to our tight end, and they had him covered. So Jimbo uses his ability. You'll see him give a great fake on the free safety here, who misses him completely, and he scatters him, scoots into the end zone there for his 2nd touchdown run of the day.
The extra point was not good, so it's 20-0 at this stage, and Samford looks like they're well on the way to an easy victory, but it doesn't turn out to be that way.
No, they really come back. Here at the second half, they have another reverse here, get a good return, good field position, and they'll start clicking. Our defense has done a great job this year of bending but not breaking. However, on this drive, you'll see Georgia Southwestern behind the great running of Slappy, the tailback, move the ball into our territory and eventually score. There's another fumble that they recover. We really hit him hard. There were a lot of fumbles by Georgia Southwestern, but we didn't recover that many. They were able to get on their fumbles.
You like to talk about giving your team at-bats or chances to handle the ball, and Slampy had a lot of carries, so he's going to be successful so many times out of the attempts to the end.
That's right. When you give a tailback 20 carries, if he's any good at all, he'll have 100, 125 yards. And Slappy being the kind of back he has, had 165. There was the quarterback, another one you don't want to give too many at-bats, because if you get him out there rolling out at 6'1", 200 pounds, he's going to make something happen. There's that tailback. We kept getting him. It was like so much we'd stop him, and boom, he'd break one out. And I think here in a little while you're going to see him break one bigger, although they're going to work it down a little bit farther as our defense adjusts and tries to solve the problems here that we're having and getting them shut down. And here's their quarterback throwing a beautiful pass, a good hit by Jerome Beeman, but they made a good play and got the ball down to the 32-yard line. And I believe this is where you'll see Slappy score going around the end on a sweep here. He takes the ball and gets it, and you'll see he crossed the line of scrimmage, and there he goes on his way to a touchdown.
And that made the score 20-7, and that's what it was at intermission. We'll be back after this.
Hey, Vern, how's the water? Sure is hot and steamy in here. What's this, Mountain Dew? Burn, 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 burn. Don't any news from the real world make it up to your tub? Mellow Yellow tastes better than Mountain Dew. See them boys at Mellow Yellow put in an extra little splash of juice, and it's better than ever. Read my lips through the steam, Vern. Mellow Yellow beats Mountain Dew. Oh, Vern, I like your little duck.
Buying tires has just taken a turn for the better at National Tire Wholesale, where you can choose from 18 national tire brands at wholesale prices with fast mounting, precision balancing, complete drum and disc brake service, Monroe and Coney shocks, and computerized four-wheel alignment. NTW, where tires and service take a turn for the better.
Nice flying, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I have made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me. Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it.
We pick up play in the second half with about 11.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. So it's 3rd and 12 here, Coach. Screen pass.
That's a wonderful time for a screen pass. They were rushing the passer short. He runs over one, finds a good play, and gets good gain for us, but not enough for the first down. And we're going to have to punt the ball here because we were ahead to penalty situations. Had a lot of penalties there in the second half to start out with, and that put us in bad situations where we couldn't get the first down, but we were able to get a good gain, and we're going to punt down from the 50-yard line and put them in the hole here.
Tim Hamrick booms one here.
He had a good day. Tim averaged 43 yards a kick. He's done good all year. Had super kicking. Kicks that one into the end zone, so there's no chance for a return, and they'll have to start on their own 20 here.
It's going to be a series of good defensive plays. We're going to see some success right away, but then it's going to be capped off by some very fine defense by the Bulldogs.
Well, they're trying to get that sweep started. You'll see us going to the ball, and there's everybody going. Colin Hutto, Mike Rebels there on the play. Colin's really done a super job again. Great leadership there. Gets to the ball. Always hustling and chasing the ball, as was Mike Rebels and the rest of the team. They're going to the ball, and here comes, who is that right there? That's John Brown coming up to make the play, and there's Josh Melnick and Scotty King. Defense is really getting after him here, but you'll see Georgia Southwestern decide they'd have to come out this second half and show what they could do, so they're coming and trying to get a drive started. And if they get something going here, we know we're going to be in for a long day.
You talked yesterday about the fact that they made some adjustments defensively. What did they do offensively? Did they make some changes there also?
Well, I think they just decided they would try to run the ball up the middle. They know we have given up some yardage rushing. They tried to run the ball up the middle, and they felt like that would be their best chance to get in the ball game, not to panic and depend on the quarterback's arm, which is not as consistent as they would like, but go with that great tailback who's run well and see what he can do. But we're getting around the ball well there. Everybody's jumping in. There's Pat Edens and Jerome Beeman, and that was his adjustment, really. Just go ahead and go with what he does well, which is run his tailback.
Comes a keeper, I believe, from Jenkins, a quarterback.
He was a threat to scramble every time. We got good pressure on him there. It was another good play. And who that? That's Brian Westbrook, again, with his second sack of the day. There's Mike Connors there from Huffman High School playing linebacker. There's the fake reverse. The quarterback sets up. It's a pass right down the line there. Beautiful play for Georgia Southwestern. We thought it was the reverse. They had the tight end drifted open to the right flat there and put them in good scoring territory.
It was a 21-yard pickup, and now it's running play right.
Great play there by John Brown. And we're concerned here because you're talking about a chance for them to score and be only 6 points down, and it's a major concern. Now, we need something to happen now to change the momentum. The momentum is all their way.
And there it is.
And Jerome Beeman makes a great interception, and for the second time this year, you're going to see him outrace everybody, including the poor quarterback who threw the ball, trying to catch him, but Jerome's got one of the best speed on the team, some of our fastest players, and goes in for the score. He got a little too excited there. We don't allow him to throw the football. That's a penalty. Thank goodness he didn't throw it up in the stands like he wanted to, but they are excited. That was a big play, and it really turned the momentum around. There's the kick up and through, and now we've pretty much got the momentum turned our way for a little while anyway.
27-7, but that score doesn't stay on the board that long. Here's the kickoff after the touchdown, and watch what happens here. This is Joe Hall, or make it Joe Davis.
We had just got the momentum our way and had them ready to just to give up the game, and here comes their kickoff returner taking the ball around, going 95, 96 yards for a touchdown. And you talking about making me mad. That makes me so mad when our defense works as hard as they work and get that ball in our end zone and get us to the point where they're ready to give the game up, and then they score on a play like that. It just makes me mad. It's the second one we've had this year. We're going to have to get better at that because that really turned the ball game back into their favor.
And the touchdown, and then the extra point, of course, puts the pressure on the defense to come right back out on the field.
Well, this was a great play here. Pat Edens took the tip around. Now stop them one more time because, again, that drive would have put them within 6. And now that takes their offense off the field. And it's time for our offense to see if we can do anything with the ball, which we didn't. And here they are again trying to get a score.
By this time, it's 27-14, so there's the second interception of the day by Scotty King.
But I tell you, that was a crucial one there. They're doing a lot of tricks they'd put in this week to get us back in the game. Scotty King shut them down, and now we got our offense back on the field to see if we can get something going. And there's one of the adjustments they made at halftime. They really took away that dive to the fullback up the middle, so we faked it and ran the option, and now Jimbo hurts him with his option running there. Really gets after him and takes the whole team on there. You can see right there, they were really going after him, trying to hurt him, knowing that if they got him out of the game, we would have to go with our backup. But he fakes it, throws over top, and here's a beautiful catch by Gerald Neves. And this gets the ball game about out of hand as we get down close to their goal line with a chance to score and ice the game.
Now, we're in the fourth quarter by this time, and it's still 27-14. And here's Jimbo rolling out to his right.
He had his receiver open, but he falls down, and their guy almost intercepts the football. And we were able to almost get it in there. We're down on their 6-yard line now, and hope we can get one more score in to finish it off. And there's the pitch in that Tommy Ruiz, who came in and give us some power from the tailback position, gets us down to the 5-yard line to get us close. And Shorty Smith will run him up the middle on that play. He's been hurting him on all day, and there he is jamming it down to the 1-yard line. We'll come back here with a little quarterback sneak to Jimbo here, and you'll see quarterback sneaks the ball to the left, goes in for his third touchdown run of the day to finish off the scoring.
That makes it 33-14. The extra point was blocked, and there were some hot tempers because of some frustration on the field that day.
Those things happen, so unfortunate. We were very disappointed that it did happen, but you see Jimmy Hightower and I there talking to each other. He's such a good friend. He's a graduate of Samford University, Woodlawn High School. He went with my mom and dad, good friends of my family, and it was good to see him again.
Swifty Pizza, where delivery is king. Certified instructors put our employees through a grueling pizza delivery course. Now that's driving.
While some pizza places put all their effort into delivery, at Little Caesars, we concentrate on something else, the pizza.
You want to make sure the crust is golden brown on the top and on
At
the
Little Caesars, it's the pizza that counts. So while they're perfecting this, we've perfected this. Little Caesars.
Boy, Vern, all this fencing practice to become a numero uno swashbuckler really works up a big thirst for some of that great tasting mellow yellow, know what I mean? smooth. Yep, Vern, Mellow Yellow tastes better than Mountain Dew. Even has that little splash of juice, know what I mean? Check out this technique, Vern. In guard. Thrust, ferry, thrust. Thrust, ferry, ferry, ferry.
People, experience, technology. The winning combination that's made McGriff, Siebels, and Williams the largest independently owned insurance broker in the Southeast. People who share a commitment to fulfill your specific needs. 100 years of continuous experience with all types of clients and coverage. Technology that enables us to provide you the fastest, most accurate, and efficient service. McGriff, Siebels, and Williams Insurance. We're big enough for all your needs, but not too big to care.
And there you see the final 33-14 is Samford now 5-0. And Terry, I know the program is really turning the corner now. You have to really feel that you've turned the corner now with the victory being the 5th and now chance to go on the road and come back 6-0 after next week's ball game.
That's right. We're over the hump. We're a program that's like I say, it's not a losing program. It's a program that we control our own destiny. We could be an outstanding football team, as good as any they've ever had here at Samford this year, or we could be one that's just better than people expected. So we control our own destiny. I think if our defense keeps playing like it did today and keeping us in the ball game till our offense gets on track, we'll have good games here the rest of the season, and we'll need one next week against Emory and Henry.
And, of course, we've talked about the excitement of Samford football. There's a lot of excitement in the ball game, and it even is more exciting when you're playing teams that you know are good competition. In the next home game will be against Ferrum College, which is a top 10 team in NCAA Division III. Next week, Emory and Henry. So you're coming up against some top-notch opponents in the next weeks to come.
That's right. Emory and Henry is a team that was in the top 8 teams last year, made the national playoffs. It probably gave Samford its worst beating last year. No one beat up Samford as bad as Emory and Henry did. And so we're going to have a great football game. I think we can't sneak up on anyone anymore. They know we have a pretty good football team, and they'll prepare for us as well as they prepare for anyone. And we're going to have to really be ready because we've got to travel a long way and go up there and play in their backyard.
Coach, there were a lot of people that thought last year that Emory and Henry may have run the score up against the Samford Bulldogs. Is that going to be a factor going into play in preparation for this week?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't here, and so I don't have a feel for that. All I know is the score was out of hand early, and it got worse as the game went on. We're going to approach them because they're a team that is one of the better Division III football teams, a very powerful team that lost to Ferrum College by 1 point, then had a stunning 1-point upset to Hampton City. But other than that, it's an outstanding football team. We're not going to think too much about last year's game. The players may more than I. I just consider that an outstanding team that we have to play as well as we can play to beat them in their backyard.
Well, we will be back here next Sunday night to review the Samford football game from next week. Emory and Henry, the opponent. If you're planning on going up for the football game, it will be a 12:30 kickoff Birmingham time. We want to remind you to tune in on WYD Radio for the radio broadcast, which will get underway at 12:15 with a pregame show. We hope you will tune in again next week as we'll review next week's football game as Samford will try to come home 6-0. The opponent will be Emory and Henry, and we invite you to tune in again. For Terry Bowden, I'm Jeff Lloyd, thanking you for watching, again, the Samford Football Review.
Following talks in Kuwait and Baghdad. Vorontsov called for the withdrawal of foreign forces from the region and denounced the U.S. naval buildup in the Gulf. The Americans brought in several more ships this week, including minesweepers. 6 Western navies now sail in and near the Gulf. The Soviets, however, are also firmly anchored in Gulf waters, albeit in a small way. No one here expects Iran and Iraq's response to a UN ceasefire call to mean an end to the war. But if next week is as quiet as the past one, few will really complain either. Alan Pizzi, CBS News in the Gulf.
When the CBS Sunday Night News continues, the House of Puzzles.
Well, Fred, our little company's moving up.
Ooh, yeah, Max. Bright young staff, new clients.
Fortune 500, here we come.
Well, on our way to the top, let's stop at Computerland. We need another computer.
Computerland was easy on the old budget.
Friendly, too.
Great at service and training.
Even taught you to use it, Max.
Fred, remember when it was just you, me, and the computer?
Yeah, great computer.
You won't believe how great it holds your lower dentures.
It's extra hold for lowers.
Finally, I can eat, sing,
even laugh with more confidence.
It's extra hold for lowers.
You won't believe how great it holds your lower dentures without messy ooze.
It's extra hold for lowers. And it's from Fast Teeth. You won't believe how great it holds your lowers.
You won't believe it.
About 22,000 people ran the New York City Marathon today, none faster than Ibrahim Hussein of Kenya. First among the women, 42-year-old Priscilla Welch of Britain. Also crossing the finish line was Andrea De Mello in an incredible comeback from a paralyzing stroke 7 years ago. Nobody likes to destroy his own work, and if you've ever put a picture puzzle together, you know how awful it feels to pull it apart and put the pieces back in the box. Charlie Lang likes to work jigsaw puzzles, and now that he's retired from his bartender's job, he has more time for puzzles.
Your world is in front of you when you got a puzzle.
When he's worked so hard on a puzzle, Charlie can't bring himself to take it apart. So he smears some glue on the back and sticks it on the wall. To join the other puzzles on the wall, on the walls, we should say, and on the tabletops, and the floors, and the ceilings, and the doors, both sides of the doors, 1,136 picture puzzles. More than 1 million pieces altogether, Charlie Lang says.
If anybody doesn't believe me, they're invited to come in here to count them.
There are landscapes and still lifes, portraits of men and animals. There is history and geography, rocks and clocks, and food and candy wrappers, filling every room in the 7-room house except one. His wife Marjorie draws the line there.
He's not going to get in the kitchen. I told him he can have every room but the kitchen.
Rembrandt's Night Watch has 5,000 pieces. Took Charlie 3.5 months to finish that one. Purple Dread would drive anybody crazy. It has no picture at all. Every piece exactly the same color. Charlie is proud of his house of puzzles.
You've heard of the 7th wonder of the world? I've got the 8th wonder of the world. You just look at it and wonder.
It's not just a wild kaleidoscope of color that makes Charlie Lang so proud. It's that when you do a puzzle, you put yourself into it. And that's the CBS Sunday Night News. I'm Charles Osgood. Good night. See you on the radio.
I got it.
Great ideas don't always arrive between 9 and 5, so IBM is introducing
The boss will love this.
the smallest, lowest price Personal System 2.
Distribution, of course. Why didn't you think of that?
With the power and advanced graphics to help you take care of business
That was inspired.
anytime.
Aha! Right. I'll sleep on it.
The newest member of the IBM Personal System 2 family at your IBM authorized dealer.
They're going to California for the weekend.
It's a frequent flyer thing. 40,000 miles and they both fly free.
I've got 40,000 miles. We're going to the mall.
Some airlines make you fly nearly 40,000 miles for one free trip. On Northwest, you get 2.
What could top an antacid that works great, that's sodium-free and calcium-rich? Great cherry taste. Cherry-flavored, calcium-rich Rolaids antacid. The relief you want, the taste you desire.
Television commercials for prescription drugs. Should these potentially dangerous products be advertised directly to the public? The story tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. This is CBS.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deborah Crable.
And I'm Daryl Denard. This week on the Ebony Jet Showcase, meet a man who has been instrumental in making hit records for stars like Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin, Narada Michael Walden. Mr. Olympia Lee Haney tells you what it takes to make a perfect body.
Bobby Humphrey talks about this special business savvy that helped her put together a new album. And Lou Gossett and Malcolm Jamal Warner team up to bring us the story of Father Clemens. All of this and more on this week's edition of the Ebony Jet Showcase.
Sunday on WBMG. Sunday on WBMG.
I'm Marianne Matthews. You're watching WBMG TV 42.
Pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Samford Football Review. I'm Jeff Lloyd, along with head coach Terry Bowden. Samford Bulldogs moved their record to 6-1 yesterday with a 63-42 win over 6th-ranked Ferrum College. It was an impressive day for the Bulldogs, and if you like offense and like scoring, you would have had an enjoyable afternoon yesterday out at Samford University. Coach, congratulations on the victory yesterday, probably the biggest in Samford's history since coming back to the football field.
Thank you, Jeff. It was a great win for us. I know the most exciting win since football began here, and I do believe it was probably the most important win in our program so far. We'll need to win a lot of more games in our future, but as far as where we're coming from and where we're going, it was clearly the most important win because of the ranking that this team brought in.
We've talked about the fact that Samford needed a victory to get their 6th of the year, and that means that they will not have a losing season this year, and that's always important. And now, Coach, hopefully Samford will never be thought of as a losing football program.
That's right. These fellows have worked so hard to change the reputation they had as not being a winner. And now in one season, they've won as many ball games as they won in the last 3. And I think that's a credit to the hard work of those boys, mainly the same ones that played those last 3 years. And I think, like you said, what that means that we are no longer a losing football team. We are a winner, and I expect us to remain a winner.
Ferrum came into the ballgame with a record of 7-0-1. The only blemish on the record was a tie to Georgia Southwestern, team that Samford had beaten easily earlier this year here at Samford Stadium in Birmingham. And the Bulldogs, with a victory, pretty well put the end to their playoff hopes as they are now looking at just one more game on their schedule. We're going to come back in a moment and take a look at how the Bulldogs came up with their 6th victory of the year. We'll ask you to stay with us as we pause for these messages.
Nice flying, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me.
Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it. For as long as you can remember, it's been part of your dreams, part of your sunshines, and we suspect it always will be.
People, experience, technology. The winning combination that's made McGriff, Siebels, and Williams the largest independently owned insurance broker in the Southeast. People who share a commitment to fulfill your specific needs. 100 years of continuous experience with all types of clients and coverage. Technology that enables us to provide you the fastest, most accurate, and efficient service. McGriff, Siebels, and Williams Insurance. We're big enough for all your needs, but not too big to care.
We pick things up on the very first play, the very first kickoff of the game, and Samford, of course, had won the toss, Terry, and you elected to go ahead and take the opening kickoff.
Yes, we've been going for the second half option, but we felt like we needed to get our offense on the field and try to get some points early, and that's what we want to do, and that comes with getting a first down and not getting stopped in the first drive. We placed about a 3rd and 4 right here. Jimbo Fisher hitting Steve Miles with a drag across the middle and picked up that crucial first down to keep the drive going.
Seemed like a broken record, but every week we always comment about what a good day Jimbo Fisher had. He had another outstanding day yesterday.
Well, this was his best, I think, of the season, clearly. And there's a sweep. We got the running game going a little bit early, and John Harper uses his good speed to pick up another first down, and now we're to their territory, and I think tempo's starting to get set now that our offense is going to be out there ready to play on this day.
That was a 12-yard pickup by Harper. Now we're going to see Smith get the call and going to go right up the middle.
Well, we tried to run up the middle and establish the run. You said they stopped him there. We really wanted to make them play the whole field. We didn't want to come out and throw every down or run every down. So we came up, ran the middle, through, ran outside, ran the middle, and mixed it up. And here you'll see them jump into man coverage. They're afraid of the pass. Everybody turns their back to the ball in man coverage. Shorty Smith pops the touchdown.
34 yards, and that, of course, gives you the lead, 6-0. Mike Bofame is going to add on the extra point here, 7-0, and that really did make it advantageous for you to get on the board early, and then that forces them to have to come from behind.
That's right. Last week we got behind 14 points at halftime and got behind. Now we had to do all the catching up, and that puts the pressure on us. But when we get ahead like we did Saturday, that puts the pressure on their offense. And as you'll see throughout the show today, the more they scored, the more we scored, and it made the game very difficult for them to play, always having to catch up.
So it didn't take Samford long to get on the board. Just 12:46 remaining in the first quarter, so they lead 7-0. And here comes the next kickoff, and it was going to be an early situation where the defense was going to take part and be a factor in this ball game. As we see the botched kickoff.
Well, the kickoff coverage was very good the first 3 or 4 kickoffs. It sort of broke down. Of course, with all the kickoffs we had to kick off, they got better and better. But our defense had a tough job. They had to have the day. And they had to stop the team this time. It was a great offensive team. You see them really getting after the ball. Defense made some great big plays early in the game. Great blocked some punts, made some big plays that allowed us to get the lead before before Ferrum was able to get some points on the board.
Well, this is a 2nd down and 5 play, and here's one of those big defensive plays.
There's the option. There's the pitch. And there we cover the ball for a big play. That is a big play there for that defense. The option now, the fumbles are kind of built into that thing. You hear about Oklahoma fumbling 6 times. Wishbone teams usually fumble about 3 or 4 times in their offense. If they don't fumble, they don't lose. But when they fumble, you've got to recover the football. So we come back and try to pick up on them right after the dadgum turnover. We want to go for the big one. We fake it, try to go deep, but they blitz and get us. You'll see us score on this play later, but we tried to go over the top. Anytime we get a turnover, we want to do that. But they were in a blitz, and we couldn't pick it up.
Yeah, you see coaches a lot of times come back and try to burn the defense right after a big turnover. What is it? They sometimes let down a little bit?
Well, what happens exactly? Their defense is not ready to come onto the field. They may not even have enough guys. They're not really mentally ready to play. You get a turnover like that, you jump on the field, they're not completely set, and boom, you hit a big one. They came back and stopped our touchdown play, came back, they gave us a sack, but you'll see what we do here. Jimbo Fisher doing what he does a great job of. Comes out, rolls, throws a beautiful pass about 55 yards over the outside shoulder for a great catch by Tim Richardson.
That was some play. That was on 3rd down and 26 from the Ferrum College 41, and the extra point was good, made it 14-0. And they're going to come back. Now, we commented it looked like a pretty good penalty then because he looked like he had a step on the defender.
That's right. It was an intentional penalty. Our defenders, we don't want them to have penalties, but if they are ever beat deep, we tell them take the penalty because it's only a 15-yard penalty instead of a touchdown.
So they got a 1st down. It's 1st and 10. This is on the Samford 43-yard, make it 28-yard line.
They have a bruising fullback and bruising attack. There's their quarterback and the option. It's just so tough when you got a fullback that's 220 pounds. We put 2 guys on him. We don't have one left for the pitch man and the quarterback, and you'll see it was tough all day stopping that option.
Going to go to their fullback Thurman here, and he was really the workhorse yesterday and has been most of the year for Ferrum.
Well, he's just a big bruiser. You'll see right there. We have not faced backs of his caliber and probably won't face any more that size and speed this season.
So it ended 14-7 after the end of the first quarter, and they're right back on offense again here.
Well, they keep coming at you. Our defense is trying to slow them down. We're trying to make some adjustments, move some people in. We put in some new defensive schemes to try to stop them, but they're very hard to stop. And like I say, you got to slowly slow them down and hope they make a mistake.
And the option, good defensive play by Alan Laster. Alan got a little more playing time yesterday.
Well, he's had some trouble with that burn on his neck, and he's gotten a new, we've had Vulcan Athletics down in Leeds make us a new neck support for him, and it's enabled him to play 3 games because of our athletic training staff and our doctors work so hard to work on that neck. You see the defense there. They're starting to get excited now. When they get excited, they get more people to the football. We teach pursuit as the mainstay of our defense, and if we get good pursuit, we've got a chance as a defensive team.
It comes a play that has really been a trademark of Samford this year.
Well, we really work on the block front. I don't know if that's our 6th or 7th block front of the year, but that's a turnaround of game. We work very hard on that. That doesn't just happen. And now we come back, we want to make something happen again, and there's the screen to Shorty Smith. He gives a little fake there, lays the ball down. Shorty he thinks he's Walter Payton. He's 5'6", 190 pounds. There's Jimbo Fisher, a new play we put in this week. The quarterback draw and a crucial 1st down. They played a lot of man coverage, and when you play man coverage, the only man you don't cover is the quarterback. So we ran a lot of intentional quarterback draws. He wasn't scrambling. We were setting up the draw quite often Saturday.
So you're now down to the 14-yard line.
There's Shorty Smith working that middle, and again, you've got to make them respect the middle. If it's tough getting yards in there and you go away from it completely, then they won't guard it, and you've got them spread out. So you want to make sure they at least respect the inside, as you saw that early touchdown run.
Jimbo fake short. And it was broken up.
We tried to fake the slant over the middle and hit our tailback on a trail route, but they covered it. And so we'll come back here, I believe, with a little, what we call a post corner. You'll see Jimbo set up here. You'll see the wide receiver fake inside, work out. Jimbo lay it right over the outside shoulder for a touchdown.
And Gerald Neves, the reception. So he had his first pass reception of the day, and he is closing in on the all-time receptions mark at Samford.
I don't think anybody that saw this game questions. These are the best backs we played all year for a group of running backs. They had people speed. At 2 of the 3 positions, they had great speed in the backfield, and the fullback was large and tough. There's that power running. They just ran power football over and over again.
I don't know how you felt, Coach, but when you went up 14-7, I really was 14-0. I was really happy to see us get that turnover because you knew they were going to score some points on the day.
Well, you just felt like they would. They've done it all year. They're not 6th in the nation. They're not headed to the national playoffs because they've been getting beat. They've done it with a powerful running attack on offense. And that was the thing we had to stop. We knew we wasn't going to be able to stop them completely. And as you can see, it was not going to be. So offensively, we had to outscore.
And again, Thurman with the carry.
They, too, work the middle. Even though the middle doesn't always get it, they, too, will work that. And but they're still trying to get back in the game and mix up their offense a little bit. And there they go. You see, there's the pass. You'll see right here we have the man sacked, but he makes the throw.
And, of course, it's a touchdown, and that's going to make it a halftime 14-point lead for Samford. Back in a moment.
This isn't a commercial for a fishing boat, or rod and reel, or an airline that can take you here. It's a commercial for a bank that can get you here.
Buying tires has just taken a turn for the better at National Tire Wholesale, where you can choose from 18 national tire brands at wholesale prices with fast mounting, precision balancing, complete drum and disc brake service, Monroe and Coney shocks, and computerized four-wheel alignment. In TW, where tires and service take a turn for the better.
Slipty Pizza, where delivery is king. Certified instructors put our employees through a grueling pizza delivery course. Now that's driving.
While some pizza places put all their effort into delivery, at Little Caesars, we concentrate on something else. The pizza.
You want to make sure the crust is golden brown on the top and on
At Little Caesars, it's the pizza that counts. So while they're perfecting this, we've perfected this. Little Caesars.
Second half, Samford, of course, selected to take the opening kickoff to start the ball game. So Ferrum College has the ball to start the second half, and big play right on the very first play.
Yeah, the fullback broke one out. Very discouraging. There's Jerome Beeman making the comeback and the tackle. We try to shut them down right off the bat in the second half. You want to set the tempo just like we talked about in the first half. But what happens? Ferrum comes out. Our defense gets a big play out on them, and Ferrum sets the tempo right away and shows us they're not ready to give up this game as much as riding it on this game for them, because they are, again, looking for the playoffs if they win this game.
This ball game reminded me a lot, Coach, of the game last week that we played up at Emory and Henry, and they led by 14 at halftime. We led it at halftime yesterday by 14 points, and it almost seemed like it was a lot of similarities to that ball game.
It was last week in reverse, exactly. There wasn't much difference at all. Not much punting, all offense. We just got ahead 14 instead of Emory and Henry, and the outcome the same.
And pretty well traded touchdowns the second half.
We were able to. The key, I think, in the second half, when we were not able to stop them, our defense was not able to shut them down. Our offense kept matching them touchdown for touchdown. Their touchdown was there. Now we come back and get a drive going, and we're down to their 20. And so they're up to 7 points down. They're only 7 points down right now. But we decide we've got to make something happen, so we come back. There's a crucial 3rd and 2.
They shut it down. Now we're into a 4th down and 2. 4th and 2, and we're only up 7 points. A very crucial play. I called a full sprint rollout, hoping Jimbo would just run the ball for the first down. They jumped up and covered him and did not cover Jeff Walters. A big, big play for the game. A 4th down and 2. We get the score and go up 14 points again.
So Samford seemed to match them every time that Ferrum scored. Samford came right back and did not allow them the opportunity to come back and knot it up, and that really would have been a big momentum boost for them, wouldn't it?
That's exactly right. You got to discourage their momentum. There they are again. They're putting the ball on the ground. Very tough play there. They had 2 men in motion there. As we started the film, it was clear we saw they had been in motion, which pulled our people off. Their guy fumbles. We recover it. He calls us offsides. A crucial, crucial mistake there in which the films clearly indicated they had 2 people. It was a legal procedure. It should have been our ball. But those things happen. We get breaks and they get breaks. But look what happens. Instead of our ball, there's the big play. Rory goes up for the interception. Their man takes it out of his hands for the touchdown. We are in a dogfight.
Yeah, that really was a big play, and it makes it 35-28. And now the pressure is on Samford to do something with the football offensively.
Well, we just can't slow down. Every time the defense come on field, obviously, okay, one more time, we got to do it again. And they're cranked up. They've made a big play. They've made big play after big play. They're cranked up. Offense just has to go to work and take care of business.
Yeah, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's still a lot of football yet to be played today.
You know, Jeff, yesterday, there's Jimbo looking one way, making the throw the other way, as only a man with his kind of arm can do, the throw the outside route. After looking to one side and turn and see it open to the other side to make the throw. You know, the game you were talking about it only being in the 3rd quarter, the game never ended. Everybody was throwing the football. The clock did not move. Here we are again, faking the trap. Here's Jimbo coming back. There's John Harper wide open the middle. What we did, that's a big, big score for us. We had been popping that trap up the middle. So we faked the trap and sent the tailback on a takeoff route. They did not cover it.
That pass was for 53 yards, and it broke the single-season passing mark at Samford, 4 yards in a season. And with the extra point, of course, Samford goes back up by 14. So
here they come
again.
They throw a trail route down the sideline, get their man open, run the fullback, he bowls it over, and what we had a 14-point lead is right back down to 7 points again. You're going to see Tim Hamrick here. Tim Hamrick is the #1 punter in the nation in Division III, and he didn't hurt his cause yesterday as he averaged 50 yards a kick on 4 kicks.
I'm really glad they decided to put a highlight of Tim in there because he really has had an outstanding couple of weeks and, as you say, leading the nation in Division III punting. So it's good to see him on the highlights because he certainly did have a factor in keeping them pinned in their territory.
I'll tell you, other than kickoff coverage, our kicking game has been very, very important for our victories this year. Our punt blocks, our punting without getting any blocks, and our kickoff returns have been very, very good. PATs have been a weak area there we need to improve upon.
I think we're going to see a fumble here, Coach.
Well, they keep coming down. There's the quarterback, drops the ball. Big play our defense made. I'll tell you, our defense, they weren't sharp, and I think we'll say as a Samford, we weren't real sharp defensively. But what our defense did was take the ball away. They took fumbles and recovered them. They blocked punts and gave our offense opportunities. And here we come. We run up the middle and try to pick up tough yards, but they're cranked up. They're only down right there. They're down 7 points, and they're not about to give up just because they have a turnover.
That's into the 3rd quarter now. The 4th quarter begins, and Samford right back to work. And look at this play.
Well, 2 weeks in a row it's worked. We set up the run, we get the halfback pass, and he's in for the score. John Harper, his 2nd touchdown in a row to Tim Richardson on the halfback pass.
The only thing different is you ran left side rather than right side as you did last week.
Well, it's all based upon what hash we're on. We cannot run into the boundary. We need to have a lot of room to let him stretch it out and look like a run. So I'd rather throw it to the right. It's easier to throw. But being on the right hash, we had to call it to the left, and that's just the way it goes. Here they come right back, and their back comes up. We get some better pursuit on the ball.
It's 48-35 now, and just about the time you think it might be easy to take a breath and relax a little bit, boy, they come right back and put a little more pressure on you.
Oh, yeah, still about 10 minutes left in the game. They're running that wishbone. Look at there, that big fullback just running over people. We weren't able to tackle quite as crisply, you know. We often say, boy, the boys weren't tackling very good, but I'll tell you, they had great backs. When you got great backs, it's funny how your guys don't tackle as well.
Coach, they started out on the wishbone, and they really had to get away from it. We see another ball that was loose and fumble recovery.
There's another turnover, right? Like I say. But they get the ball back. They must not have given that one to us, or we didn't get it because they come right back, and there was no score. There's their passes. Their passes opened up. We started to try to shut down their runs, and when you put too many people up tight to shut down a run, it opens up the pass. And at the end of the game, they were really effective in their passing game.
A little reverse.
Oh, the reverse was crucial. They were able to pick up the big yards and get the score, but thank goodness, although we had more penalties then, that proved to be a costly one for them as it brought back a 7-point touchdown.
Holding penalty, we've seen a few of those, haven't we?
Well, we have ourselves. We're going to get caught holding a little bit on our team, and they get caught a little bit too.
And that looks almost like the same broken play that got a touchdown in the first half.
Well, we had a poor pass interference call here. Our defender did not do a good job there. The man wasn't behind him. Did a very poor job of coverage and interfered with the man and put them down with a first down on our 10-yard line. And here comes their power, and their dadgum back takes it in for the score.
Now it's 48-42, and this is a big play in the football game right here, Coach.
Probably one of the biggest. They're only down 6 points right now, and they try an onside kick one we hadn't seen as they slowly dribble the ball, watch, and try to recover it. But if you watch closely, their man gets on it before it crosses the line, and that is the indication. That is the problem. And they give the ball back to us, although they fell on it. You'll see the official make the good call here.
There was a lot of confusion, too. They sorted it out, and their coach was very upset about the call. And I guess frustration started to come out. He's seeing an undefeated season slip away, and he's seeing his number 6 ranking start to slip away. And so he's getting pretty frustrated about that particular call.
That's exactly right. They called a penalty on. I ran out on the field. He ran on the field to question the call. I ran out to protect the call. They called 15-yard penalty on both of us for being on the field. So I came off the field. Well, he wouldn't get off the field. They threw another 15-yard penalty on him. And then when he got on the official after that, they ejected him from the football game because of 3 personal fouls in a row on the coach. I think there was nothing more they could do. But really, there was a clean part of the game. No players got into it, no altercation between the players, but the coaches were having there he was again jumping on the official, as you can see there. And again, that was about the only problem we had during the day. There were no football. I was glad to see the players handle themselves on this day much better than the coach.
And that was the play in which he was ejected from the football game. And as we said, it was crucial because it was a 6-point lead, and if they recover that onside kick, go down and score, they have taken the lead with an extra point.
That's right, and we come back, get the quick score, and it puts it away.
That's the very first play after all the problems with the confusion of the penalty.
That's right, and those 3 penalties that the coach received probably were as crucial as any. We had to get the 2-point clays. We're only up 13. There's Jimbo making the throw, the fullback. That puts us up 14 points, and now we've got the ball back with their turnover and a chance to ice the game.
Yeah, you missed an extra point earlier, so that really evened things up with the 2-point conversion there.
There's the sweep popping again. John Harper puts it down there, and it looks like we're going to score again to ice the game away. Now they're getting a little discouraged now because, again, it's getting beyond their reach.
This really has knocked them out of playoff berth, hasn't it?
That's right. They've got one more game, but it's 7-1-1 now, and a chance to end up 8-1-1. It's not likely they're going to get to the national playoffs with more than 1 loss.
John Harper again trying to get outside or just run out of bounds. At that time, I'm sure you didn't want the clock to stop, though, did you?
No. Although we were only up 14, we needed to get 1 more. But again, you want to keep the ball on the ground. You'll see here we have 1 more little trick up our sleeve to try to get some points as Jimbo comes here, fakes out, rolls out. There he is hitting Gerald Neves in the corner, that beautiful corner route that he hit before, and gives us 1 more score to get us up 21 points.
And he makes it look so easy. The receivers must really just run the routes superbly.
Well, you talk about guys that over and over again this summer worked out over and over again on those routes. Gerald Neves, one of the upperclassmen who's had years of good experience. There's Chris Quarter getting some work late, but those receivers have worked hard on their routes. Jeff Bowden, my brother, who works for the passing game, has done a great job of preparing the passing attack, which is the forte of our offense right now. And here comes our second team now. Tommy Ruiz, probably our hardest runner, getting in there and doing what he does, runs over people.
Should mention, too, that touchdown pass from Fisher was his 6th of the day, which also established this Samford record for the most touchdown passes by a quarterback in 1 day.
Well, you know, Jimbo has had a great year. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes on 3 different days and 6 on another day, and it's just going to be common for us to have that as the game ends there.
There's your final, 63-42.
Hey, Vern, how's the water? Sure is hot and steamy in here. What's this, Mountain Dew? Burn, 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 burn. Don't any news from the real world make it up to your tub? Mellow Yellow tastes better than Mountain Dew. See them boys at Mellow Yellow put in an extra little splash of juice, and it's better than ever. Read my lips through the steam, Vern. Mellow Yellow beats Mountain Dew. Oh, Vern, I like you, little duck.
Sports are an important part of a well-rounded education, but 1 million injuries occur every year in high school sports. Parents of student athletes are the #1 defense against sports injuries. Parental support for a certified trainer and team physician at every high school helps prevent needless sports injuries. For a free brochure, call the National Athletic Trainers Association at 1-800-334-NATA.
Nice flying, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I have made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me. Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it.
Hope you enjoyed watching the highlights today, and we can't really point out too strongly what a good football team Samford beat yesterday, as it was the 6th-ranked team in the nation. It was their first loss of the season. Now, Samford cannot go to the playoffs, Coach. We talked about that on our pregame show on the radio yesterday. And the fact is that you played a team that was hoping to get a playoff berth, and as a result, you really put a damper on their season, but it really meant a lot to the Samford football program.
That's right. Ferrum was clearly destined to be in the national playoffs. They were 7-0-1. A win over us would have been 8-0-1. With one game, they were clearly better than the team they ended up with, surely in the national playoffs, as they were 6th rated in the nation, and they take the top 16 teams. And if we can go on and have the kind of season that we're capable of having, we must take each game one at a time. But if we can have the kind of season, I think at least at this point in time, what it indicates is that if we were eligible for the national playoffs, we would be in consideration right now for a playoff berth.
You mentioned to me that it was a fact that since you couldn't go to the playoffs, that this game really was the difference between perhaps having a decent season, a good season, and a very good season. With this win out of the way and 3 games remaining, you can have a very good season now in 1987.
That's right. You could have a good year whether you won that game or not, but you weren't going to have a great year. We still have a lot of tough games to play, and we may not have a great year, but with that win and the caliber of team that we beat, everything is out there for us to have a great season.
Well, we've talked about if you enjoy offense, if you enjoy a lot of points, you would enjoy Samford football. We do urge you to come out next week because it's homecoming, and that always adds some special added attraction to any football game.
That's right. Homecoming is that special day. We have so many things, and it's time for our daggum people to come home. We need a full-packed house. We need the Howard College people, the Samford University people, the Birmingham people who haven't seen us play. And I'm going to promise you, I've tried to tell you, you just don't believe me. We got the most exciting offense in town, and you're not going to believe it until you see it.
63-42 certainly proved there was a lot of offense to be had on Saturday. We'll hope to see a lot more of that this coming Saturday. Again, it is homecoming, and kickoff is 1:30 at Samford Stadium. Tickets are $5, and there are still seats available. We hope you'll come on out. That's going to do it for this week's program. We hope you enjoyed watching. We hope you'll come on out to the game next week, and then tune in at 10:30 on Channel 42 next Sunday night for the Samford Football Review. For Coach Terry Bowden, I'm Jeff Lloyd. Thank you very much for tuning in again this week. Stand back, everybody. Here goes the rush.
I'm Mary Ann Matthews. You're watching WBMG TV 42.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the Samford Football Review. I'm Jeff Lloyd, along with Samford head football coach Terry Bowden. Yesterday was homecoming on the campus of Samford University out at Cypress Stadium. Samford Bulldogs celebrated in a big way with a 72-10 victory over Maryville College. Coach, congratulations on the victory. It's always nice to win your homecoming ball game, and now the Bulldogs 7-1 and on the way to what is going to be a great season.
That's right. It was a great day. Every day I think that the team has gone out and scored as many points as they could score. They go out and have a better day the next day, next Saturday. But this day I think the defense was the big story this week because our defense came out and completely controlled their side of the football, and allowed our offense to get on the field quite often and score a lot of points. But in a homecoming day like today, with all the alumni there and our band really performing well, we were just so pleased to have such a great day.
You knew, Coach, that it was really going to be kind of a lopsided ball game, matching your people on paper against Maryville's team, and really you had to find an extra angle, and the angle was to try to go out and shut them down as much as you could defensively, and you really laid it at the feet of your defensive team and your coaches.
Well, I tell you, I really put the pressure on our defense this week. I said I wanted them to go out and dominate this football game, and they went out and did it. I felt like with our last 3 games with Maryville, Millsaps this week, and finishing up with Wingate, we would have to have a dominating defense, and we needed them to do it this week, because if they didn't, we would be very much concerned going into Millsaps next week. But they played very, very well. They completely, I felt, controlled their side of the football. And with that kind of football game, I think that's going to give us the good push, I think, for the game next week with Millsaps.
And in a moment, you're going to see on the highlights how the defense really got involved with the scoring, and they got the Bulldogs on the board with a block punt. We'll see that coming up in a moment. Yesterday, of course, also was homecoming. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It was a great crowd, great homecoming, and it turned out very well for the Bulldogs. Again, 72-10 was the final score. We'll take a break. Terry and I will be back in a moment. We'll look at the highlights of yesterday's program right after you enjoy these messages.
If you had to be reincarnated as a potato chip, would you be the one you're eating right now? Ugly and brown and wearing a boring old bag? Yuck. I'd be a Delta Gold brand potato chip. I'd be light in color, thin, and ever so golden. I'd have a taste so pure and fresh, I'd be irresistible. And my package would be ultra chic. But if I were a Delta Gold chip, do you think at parties I'd have to spend all my time with the dips?
Delta Gold brand. Great taste comes to light.
Weekends, days off, don't wanna work no more. Gonna take my time now that it's mine, and I don't wanna be with no Coca-Cola. This is the life, these are the real things, you're the heart of it. Every day, every way, Coca-Cola's a part of your life. Oh, when Coca-Cola's a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling.
Nice flying, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I have made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me. Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it.
Well, here we're going to see the opening kickoff in yesterday's homecoming game, Coach, and it really didn't take long for Samford to get on the board and really set the tone for this football game.
Well, we chose the second half option. We want our defense on the field because we set the day for our defense to come out and show us what they could do and see if they could stop them early and dominate the game, and they sure did that. And it was a beautiful day again in Birmingham. Every time we play at home, it's a beautiful day. And homecoming, and a nice crowd was on hand, so everything went well, including the game itself. Right from the start, the defense came out and showed that they were going to be dominating on that day. Oh, they were fired up. I saw about 8 people jumping over the ball right there. There's John Brown there on the end, had an outstanding football game. We had a lot of good performers on defense. They played well as a team. Very got after the ball. There's John Brown making a great play on the option. He takes the quarterback, feathers him out in order to make him pitch, and then he knocks the pitch down, forces them to a loss, and now they've got a third and long and a tough situation for them.
It's 3rd down and 20 here, and another good defensive play.
Well, there's Dwayne Cheese closing in. Here comes our players, all of them swarming around the ball. I love it when you can't tell which guy makes the tackle because there's so many guys on the ball. It's like a bunch of sharks. One takes the first bite, they sense blood, and 11 of them attack, and I love it. So it brings up 4th and 14, and this is really the trademark of what has been the Samford defense on special teams all year. You put a lot of pressure on your defense this week, Coach. That's right. I felt like this was the game they had to come through and dominate and get ready for our last 3 ball games. And here's our punt rush. We try to block punts every single time, every single ball game, and try to set the tempo. They come hard. Here they come. Colin Hutto blocks the punt out of the end zone, 2-0, and we haven't even touched the ball yet. And the safety, of course, so that means they have to kick off to you. Yes, and now we've got the ball, and they've got to kick from their 20, which we are pretty sure is going to give us good field position. Like I told you before the game, we had already diagrammed our first 5 or 6 plays. I try to do that on Friday night. After viewing the film, I write down the first 3 or 4 or 5 plays so I don't have to think of them. I already know what they're going to be. I told you before the game it was going to be an isolation type dive, and then I was told you it's going to be a bomb off of that fake, and then on from there. And we're anxious to get the ball back now and to put our offense into play.
They have the option of either punting or having somebody hold it or use the tee, and they elect to use the tee here. And Shorty Smith, I believe, is going to take it here. Maybe it's Tommy Ruiz, I think, starts off here.
They kicked away from Shorty Smith. After seeing the film, he does return the ball quite often and well. And so they kicked to Tommy Ruiz most of the day, and he brings it out to about 40 as the crowd looks on. Had a great homecoming crowd there. The band was playing so good. They give us a great job, the band does. And here we are on our first play, and we're going to try to get into a basic formation and run our off-tackle draw play, sprint draw play right there. They closed on it pretty well. They're ready to play now. They didn't come here just to fool around. And now you're going to see us fake that exact same play to the other side and throw the bomb. Watch the fake by the quarterback. He fakes the handoff, sets back, and there's that beautiful 55-yard touchdown pass, and the 2 plays were up 9-0.
Really, they were. That was really about it from the standpoint of a competitive ball game, because it just continued to go on and on Samford's way. You're going to see Mike Bofemi in the first of his 10 extra points, which established his record. Samford's had a number of records. We'll be talking about some of those as the game goes on, but as the highlight program goes on. But the big one, I guess, is total offense.
That's right. The offense was clicking yesterday. We had, I think, 698 yards of offense, 72 points. I think we didn't match points. I know Samford scored 80 points back when my dad was coaching here, and then they scored 88, I think, back in 1907. So we're not even close to that, but we did break the total offense record with 698 yards and with another good offensive day led by Jimbo Fisher. Here's the option that worked so well. John Harper running the football. Good block by Jeff Walters and Tim Richardson. John Harper had 126 yards and only about 10 carries Saturday. A great job, most of it on the option.
And you knew that he was going to be effective because of his speed once he got outside.
That's right. John's the fastest man on our football team. When he gets outside, we feel like teams that have the same type of speed as us won't be able to get him. And there's Jimbo Fisher's second touchdown pass to Shorty Smith and makes the score, what, 15 or 16-0?
Yeah, and the extra point there, of course, makes it a 17-0 ball game, if my addition is correct, 16-0. And Samford is well on its way. Now, we're going to see a lot of Samford highlights here, obviously, with 71 points, and this being the Samford highlight program, we're going to be featuring the Bulldogs.
That's exactly right. It was about this time I sensed we had the ability to make something happen. I didn't want to fool around and march down the field. I don't like it. When I feel like we've got the better team, I'm going to go out there and try to score and put the game away. There's one thing I can't stand. I can't stand to watch a boxer who is clearly better and won't put a guy down. And I can't stand to see a football team that doesn't have that competitiveness about them, that won't finish off a team. So we came out here, and every time we had an opportunity early, we want to get our good people scored so we get them out of the ball game. And you'll see Jimbo Fisher again coming back here, throwing to the #1 receiver in the history of Samford University, Gerald Neves, right there making the touchdown catch.
That was his first catch of the day. He needed 2 to tie the all-time record and 3 to break it, and we'll see him do both those a little bit later, and another extra point by Mike Bofemi.
Well, first quarter not even over yet, 23-0, and now they have a chance to come back and are mixing the ball up well, but the defense, you'll watch them coming to them. There they are, hitting like crazy. There's looks like Brian Westbrook there making a good hit. All of our ends, Chris Betts, Brian Westbrook, Jeff Brown, and John Brown, all did exceptionally well on defense.
Coach, they used 3 quarterbacks yesterday. That's going to be tough to get any kind of consistency, does it not?
It sure does. I think they were struggling, and now you'll see the quarterback there throws the ball up, and Billy Robinson, who did have an outstanding game at free safety, comes back and puts our quarterback, Jimbo Fisher, back on the field. And there's Shorty Smith running up the middle. Shorty didn't have much of a day. He had about 56 yards on about 6 carries, but it was a day for the outside running the passing game, and Shorty is just 21 yards short of being the season record holder for rushing there. There's Jimbo taking it over top again. Gets pressure, and you'll see we just missed the bomb again. They cover it pretty well.
You know, he doesn't really seem to have any favored receivers because you spread it out to just about everybody. You throw to the wide receiver, the split end, the tight end, the backs, everybody gets a chance.
Well, if you'll see the way I've been taught, you watch my dad's football team play like he did against Auburn Saturday. We like to put the formation, spread the field, and throw anywhere on the football field. And you'll see they had a player ejected there. We've been very, very good. I was so pleased the way our players played yesterday. Played with class, very, very classy, gentlemanlike, very few personal fouls or talking or boasting or anything like that. They were very businesslike, and I was very proud of the way our team played. But we do mix it up because we put our offense and spread the field and try to hit all the receivers, as our statistics show.
Shorty Smith again, and penalty there. Stopped the play. Really, there weren't that many penalties for as many points as were on the board and as many plays as that were run. I didn't think there were really that many penalties.
No, it was a well-played game and a well-officiated game. The officiating has done a good job this year. It's been such a tough thing for them because there's been some very heated games this year, and they've handled it, I guess, as well as you'd expect. But it was a very well-done game, and here's Jimbo Fisher coming back, finding nobody open and doing probably what he does second best is running with that football. Has great speed and quickness, and finds an opening there and gets us down inside the 20 now. And a chance to put some more points on the board. The line blocked really well there for us today, our offensive line, and as we mix up the pass and the run, you'll see him throwing. There's Gerald Neves catching his second pass and touchdown of the day.
That tied him, I think, as it was for the all-time career mark, and he's going to get another opportunity to break the record later in this football game, and he has really a great set of hands. He has really been a good one at Samford University.
Yes, Gerald works so hard. He's got the softest hand and really looks the ball in and concentrates well, and he very much well deserves to have the record like he does. But our defense is called on. Played a nickel defense for the first time this year. You'll see us putting pressure and putting nickel coverage on everybody. A great job of covering by Jerome Beeman. Nickel defense puts an extra defensive back or a fifth or nickel back in, takes out a lineman, and we're double up on all the receivers. And you'll see our defenders running everywhere in all different directions, coming after them. And there's the sack. John Brown coming off the end. Good pressure by Chris Betts on the play side.
Jeff Brown was really keyed up yesterday. I talked with him before the ball game, and he really felt that he was going to have a good day and wanted the defense to have a good day, and he really was pumped up.
Well, we had a heart-to-heart talk Friday night with that defense, and I kind of put it to him and said, this is what I want to find out what you're going to show me today at homecoming, and I'll tell you, they showed me everything I wanted to see. Kind of fire and intense that we needed to see. They're just getting after it now, going, look at those people. Colin Hutto trying to get around the ball. Everybody just piling around that ball. Greg Connors, freshman out of Huffman High School, in our nickel defense. And Dean Hedrick, one of our linebackers, had been hurt all year, was back in action yesterday and gave us a very good game. There they are, faking the punt, trying to get the ball to us, and our defense alertly handles the fake punt. When you rush the punter, you get the fakes a lot. And here comes Jimbo again, going for the score here. Throws one to John Harper, who drops the ball. The only drop ball of the day. We had a very good job catching the ball yesterday. Our receivers dropped no footballs. John really dropped the only catchable pass yesterday. Now we come back with that outside option. You'll see it blocks the wheel. Look at Jeff Walters out there making a great block. You'll see there's Tim Richardson on the outside and John Harper fighting for that extra yardage. Great job of blocks in there by Dink Wall and Scott Fountain, Leland Allen, and Charles Cooper and Steve Martin on the offensive line along with Monty Montgomery. There's Jimbo zipping that ball in there to Tim Richardson for that touchdown pass there.
I don't think people really appreciate how difficult a pass that was because he's running away from the target in which he's throwing. It was an outstanding play.
Well, what makes Jimbo such a great passer, and you don't see much at this level, is the strong arm that he's got. He wristed that ball about 30 yards, all wrist, and he's got those strong arms. He's lifts weights quite a bit, benches about 315 pounds as a quarterback, which is outstanding, and he's got the very strong arm, just like Ted Darby, our backup quarterback, and you'll see him a little bit later, even in the second quarter. But here's our defense called to the challenge again because they're getting down their line, and look at them swarm around that ball. Super job by our linebackers. Pat Edens again had a good day with Mike Rebels from Homewood High School, and they had super job there.
This is their third quarterback of the afternoon.
Look at there they come again. Bobby Locklear, a freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia, coming in and making a play there for us. Super job. We had good work out of Al Laster, who's had the neck burner early in the season, come back and played 2 good games. You'll see Laster covering right there. Had a real good game for us, and we're so glad he's been able to take care of that pinched nerve in his neck with a good equipment from Vulcan Athletics down in Leeds, who provides us with the good equipment down there. Made a special neck brace for him, and he's been able to play the last 3 games. They're going to come in and kick a field goal, you'll see.
And that gets them their first points of the day, and it makes it a 37-3 ball game. And it was one of those things where you had to be proud of the defense. They kept them from scoring the touchdown at that point in time.
Well, that's right. We wanted
wanted our defense to keep them out of the end zone, and it's very much is going to set the tempo for the rest of the season. Here's Shorty Smith. We wouldn't want him to come out of the end zone. And I told Shorty, if this had been a 7-7 ball game at that time, I would have expected him to down that ball, but he was feeling loose. His mama was in from Sarasota, and his little sister, and I knew he wanted to look good for him, and I wasn't letting him run the ball that much yesterday, so I'm sure that's why he did. But we come right back out, and with a little screen to Shorty, and you'll see him right here, and he takes the ball around, making him move now. It's really moving good. Takes the ball all the way to their 40-yard line now, trying to get another one before the half ends.
And we're still pretty much in the second quarter here. We have a lot of highlights in the first half, and you see Harper going around the right end, and the flag is thrown as
Jeff Walters was holding there. That's the one problem, I think, Jeff Walters being his first year at tight end. He was been a quarterback all before this, but in learning to adjust to being a running a blocker, the holding has been a problem, but something he's worked on very much. Here's Jimbo making the throw to Gerald Nees. Watch this beautiful slick move by his third catch, breaking the record, and watch him drag the ball down. Gerald's one of the smallest guys on our team and not one of the bigger weightlifters. Dragged him down to the 3-yard line, and we're going to try to run it in for one more score. But you'll see they stop our option, and you're going to see one of the most enjoyable plays of the afternoon right after that.
Yeah, the catch by Nees was outstanding, and then you thought just when you saw the play of the day, look at this thing. It's really after the fumble, you're going to see the next play here, which was really an outstanding play with Fisher scrambling and finally finding a man in the end zone.
Well, what you'll see here, you'll see we're trying to hit our fullback in the flat right here. I'm hoping they're in man coverage. They get in the zone. They cover our fullback, and there's nothing out there. So Jimbo's looking. You'll see him scramble back the other way. You're hoping a penalty doesn't occur. They got him there. Now he comes back here, throws one all the way back across for the score, and there's the final score for Jimbo. And that's the way it's going to be, I think, for Jimbo to make the score, I believe, 44-3 or
44-3 is what it was. Dave Daigle, the man who made the reception, and we're going to see the extra point here. We're still in the first quarter, I should say the first half. We're going to take a break here and come back and finish up the first half and the second half in just a moment, so stay with us.
People, experience, technology, the winning combination that's made McGriff, Siebels & Williams the largest independently owned insurance broker in the Southeast. People who share a commitment to fulfill your specific needs. 100 years of continuous experience with all types of clients and coverage. Technology that enables us to provide you the fastest, most accurate, and efficient service. McGriff, Siebels & Williams Insurance. We're big enough for all your needs, but not too big to care.
Slifty Pizza, where delivery is king. Certified instructors put our employees through a grueling pizza delivery course. Now that's driving.
While some pizza places put all their effort into delivery, at Little Caesars, we concentrate on something else, the pizza.
You want to make sure the crust is golden brown on the top and...
At Little Caesars, it's the pizza that counts. So while they're perfecting this, we've perfected this. Little Caesars.
This isn't a commercial for a fishing boat, or rod and reel, or an airline that can take you here. It's a commercial for a bank that can get you here.
As we come back, Coach, we're still in the first half. Most of the highlights, most of the scoring took place in the first half of play, and they're on offense, Maryville, and they're going to come up with a big play here.
Yes, they kept fighting. I was so proud of their fellows who got down but did not quit. Dean Hedrick, one of our linebackers, has been hurt making a play there. We haven't had Dean all season, and he's now back playing for us. But Maryville College came back and played very well and played hard and never quit the whole time. As our defense now is being tested right now, as Maryville starts to drive, you'll see them throw the ball there. Scotty Kings came up now off of a leg injury. Now he's playing well, but you'll see them keep on fighting. And there's the old out and up pattern on Jerome Beadham. Has it covered fairly well, but look at that great catch by number 3 there for Maryville to get them a touchdown.
And that is their only score of the day, as it turns out, with the extra point. And Samford well in control of this football game. I talked a moment ago that Kuto, the man who made that reception, reminded me a lot of Gerald Neves, and he's only a freshman.
That's right. He did a super job. But they come back right here with the onside kick to get themselves possibly another score. But just like last week, it touched one of their players before it went 10 yards, and that automatically makes it our ball and puts the ball down there where we get into another scoring opportunity fairly quick. A lot of time when teams choose to try to get back into the game, you'll find themselves putting themselves in bad field position and giving us many more scores than you would normally have if you had to drive it down. But this put us on their side of the field with an opportunity for another score. And you'll see here's Ted Darby, our freshman quarterback, in for Jimbo Fisher. We're starting to substitute liberally now and get our second and third teamers in now before the half is over. And there's Shorty Smith working the ball around the weak side. As you'll see us changing our backs and people now. But Ted Darby, our freshman from Oxford, Alabama, will be called upon to take over when Jimbo exits at the end of the season. I think nothing's going to slow down at Samford University with Ted Darby, I promise you. This boy is an exciting football player with a cannon for an arm and is about as cocky as you can get for a quarterback. And there's John Harper finishing up his day. Good block by Gary Matthews on the end, and John Harper scores there for our last score of the first half.
And Samford, of course, on to a 51-10 halftime lead, and so we're going to go right on into the second half after we see Mike Bofemi finish it up with the extra point. And it was a situation, Coach, where they tried the onside kick early in the ball game, and that's really a situation where they had to get back in a hurry to get back in the game.
That's right. Now we're substituting people now because they're about out. There's Tommy Ruiz, who was the leading rusher. Our second-team tailback rushed for 165 yards. We've got all of our people we're mixing in there. Steve Martin, our senior tackle, who is getting in there to replace Monty Montgomery. You'll see there Luke Katimoff, our freshman guard, Lou Sample. Dave Daigle, freshman on a Daytona tight end, catching the ball there. Lou Sample has moved into center. All of our young people there are now getting some repetitions and playing, and you'll see Tommy Ruiz get a second touchdown going behind Mark Beaver, one of our players, Trey Malloy there from Atlanta, Georgia, to finish up the scoring for us.
72-10 was the final score, and it was an outstanding homecoming day, and handshakes all the way around. It was a well-played game, and we'll be back, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in just a moment.
Buying tires has just taken a turn for the better at National Tire Wholesale, where you can choose from 18 national tire brands at wholesale prices with fast mounting, precision balancing, complete drum and disc brake service, Monroe and Coney shocks, and computerized four-wheel alignment. In TW, where tires and service take a turn for the better.
If you had to be reincarnated as a potato chip, would you be the one you're eating right now? Ugly and brown and wearing a boring old bag? Yuck. I'd be a Delta Gold brand potato chip. I'd be light in color, thin, and ever so golden. I'd have a taste so pure and fresh, I'd be irresistible. And my package would be ultra chic. But if I were a Delta Gold chip, do you think at parties I'd have to spend all my time with the dips?
Delta Gold brand. Great taste comes to light.
Nice blind, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I have made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me.
Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it.
72-10, the final score again, as you just saw the highlights, and a lot of highlights there were in the game yesterday. Some records fell yesterday, too. A couple of records were broken and one that was tied at Samford. As far as the individual performances, Gerald Nees becomes the all-time leading pass receiver at Samford University, and there was a record set yesterday simply because all the scoring. Mike Bofemi had 10-point afters to establish a new record, breaking his own, and Jimbo Fisher came up with a touchdown pass. Several touchdown passes, as a matter of fact, 6 on the day, and that put him tied for not only the season record, but the all-time career record at Samford in just 8 ball games. So gives you an idea of what kind of offense that Coach Bowden puts on the field each week.
Well, that's right. We tell our fellows there's no need to be second best. We would like to be the very best offense in America and the best in the history of Samford University. They don't write many books about the second best offense. Everything's about the best, and I think that's one thing our offense has pledged themselves to become, is the very best offense that Samford has ever had and the best offense in America. And right now, averaging over 50 points a game and nearly 500 yards a game, they are establishing itself as one of the best in the history of the NCAA at the Division III level.
Terry and I are going to take a few minutes here on the tail end of the program to discuss Division III. That's the level that Samford plays, and it's kind of a much maligned division here in the South because most people know about Division I and Division II or 1AA or whatever the case might be. But, Terry, you see a lot of quality football teams and players come out of Division III, and you might talk about the merits of playing Division III football.
Well, that's right. Division III football is the largest division of football in America, with over 300 schools in America playing Division III football. That's a level where fellows do not receive scholarships based on athletic ability. They may get academic scholarships or leadership scholarships or merit scholarships, but no athletic scholarships. And over 300 schools in America are playing at that level. There are only about 100 Division I schools in America, so that gives you an idea of the size of our division. But again, like you said, Jeff, that is not a very common division down here in the South. Up in the Northeast and the Midwest, everyone plays Division III football. Kenny Anderson, the All-Pro who played with the Cincinnati Beagles, was from Augustana College, a Division III football team. Jimbo Fisher, who you see here at Samford playing Division III football, is probably one of the very best college quarterbacks in America at any level. And if you don't see him in any postseason All-American ball games, it may be because he's at a Division III level, but he is no less an athlete as any of those you'll see at Alabama or Auburn or any of the other schools. And there are many athletes just like that. They may be a little bit shorter or not weigh as much, but they have the same type of athletic ability as the ones at the bigger levels, but on a smaller size. But we are proud of the level we play at Samford University. It's a very tough level, and it's one we're very proud of right now that we can play as well as we're playing.
And that's not to say that Samford is not interested in moving up in division in the future someday, but right now, while you're playing Division III, Coach, you want to be as good as you possibly can be in Division III football.
That's right. There's been so much talk about what level is right for Samford University, but it's very important that we show that we can be an established power at the Division III level. If we cannot win football games and win them in a big way at Division III, there's no need for Samford to even consider possibly being a Division II team or a Division 1AA team or whatever. We need to show that if we were allowed to maintain a Division III level, we would be a championship type team.
Well, we have 2 more games remaining on the schedule, Coach, and next week's the final home game of the year, and I know you like to have a big crowd out here to help root on the seniors playing in their final home game.
That's right. The seniors will be their last football game, and these seniors now with 7 wins this year have had one more than they had the last 3 years, and with a win Saturday will put themselves in the opportunity and chance to have a great football season this year, and we hope that everyone will come out and watch these seniors, the ones that have turned Samford football around.
Kickoff is 1:30 out at Cypress Stadium. We invite you to come on out and again to tune in next Sunday for the Samford Football Review. That's going to do it for this week's program. We hope you enjoyed watching. For head coach Terry Bowden, I'm Jeff Lloyd. So long, everybody.
And I'm Marianne Matthews. The 42 studios are pretty quiet right now. From early in the morning till late at night, most of the action is in our newsroom.
The stories that flow from here each day take hard work and team effort. Whether it's the newsroom, Chip's Action Sports Desk, or Paul's AccuWeather Center, the pieces and the people have to fit together to make it all work.
When you see us, you see only part of it, but you will see the difference.